out before, haven't
Yeah, but then kids can be very fast. Yeah, so the tighter the gap, the lower the speed. So what you do is you drive at a distance that you can see to be clear. You drive at a speed that you can see to be clear.
I remember Bob's telling me that ages ago. Less pace.
Yeah. So if you are going and like to turn left. So if you are driving through a very narrow road, if you totally reduce your speed, it'll give you a chance to actually look into the cars, probably have time to look underneath to see if there are any children around or anyone might be going through the cars.
Yeah.
So you've got more time to react if you're at a reasonable speed.
I don't know, my wife just didn't explain that to me, instead of shouting at me.
Because the truth is she didn't get training from where I'd got training from.
I didn't get it. I'd have cooked dinner that night as well.
Well, there you go.
She had the right hand.
So Tony, if this
turn
road,
left.
and I'd like you to turn left. So if this road was very narrow and you couldn't give a meter clearance, what speed would you be driving at?
Less space. Less pace.
Yeah. And why would you be doing that?
I need that time to react, don't I?
That's it.
I'm just going to follow the road straight on.
Okay. Could you follow the road straight?
Straight on at the first one and kind of left at the second.
Straight on at the first and left at the second. I was quite lucky because in my phase 2 there were lots of roadworks going on, so I was allowed to talk about what he anticipates could happen with road signs saying that roadworks are going on. So I got to cover a lot of that through that. I mean, if I was talking about, let's say, pedestrians approaching a zebra crossing in terms of anticipation, would that be me going into a different subject, or would that?
Yeah, pedestrian crossings.
So I wouldn't be talking about the pedestrian crossing, but just the anticipation of what could happen.
Yeah, you're not going to do any harm, but
Yeah. Okay, Tony, looking ahead.
Oh yeah.
And the bicycles have actually got their right arm out.
Oh, they've
What
given
does
those
that
arm
mean?
signals. Yeah, I don't have arm signals last week. That means they're turning right.
Yeah. So if they were turning left and we were going past them, how much clearance would you have given them?
A metre. No, 2 meters.
Yep. And why would you be giving them 2 meters?
Because they wobble, don't they?
That's
I'm going to follow the road straight on.
And I'd like you to follow the road straight ahead.
You know when I'm driving behind parked cars that are moving?
Yep. How would I word that? You're talking about
Yeah.
the 2 second rule, aren't you?
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, I couldn't quite remember.
How would you know if you're travelling at at a safe distance from the car ahead of you, Tony?
Oh yeah. Bob said use the 2 second rule thing.
Okay, and what does that mean to you?
I'll wait till the vehicle in front of me reaches like a lamppost or something that I can judge, and I say to myself, only a fool breaks a 2 second rule. And if I finish saying it before I get there, I'm too close.
Yeah.
But does that work in all weather conditions?
If you were travelling under wet weather conditions, that rule doubles. So you need a 4 second gap.
So I said to myself, only a fool breaks the 4 second rule.
Only if it breaks the 2 second rule, and then you'd say it again.
Oh right, yeah.
And if it was icy conditions, it would 10 times that.
Cool, I'd be knackered out saying 10 times, wouldn't it?
That's it. So what you'd be doing is just travelling at a very, very
And
safe
turn right.
distance. I'd like you to turn right
I'd probably
here.
use a car on home abuse it, wouldn't it?
Probably would actually.
Catch the bus again.
Yeah, you'd skate yourself all the way
Yeah.
there. And do you know why it's 10 seconds on ice conditions?
Well, I do remember Bob telling me that it's very important to keep the distance, safe distance from the vehicle in front. He said something to do with the fact that if they stop, I've got to be able to stop.
Yeah. Drive at the distance you can see to be clear. So if they were to suddenly brake, if you were driving too close to them, you'd go straight into the back of them. If you are at a safe distance. Now these parked cars, how much clearance are you going to give them?
Clearance?
How much stopping, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, you mean how far am I going to stop?
How far are you going to stop?
Oh, tires and tarmac, yeah.
There you go, that's perfect. And why is that important?
Because you don't like pushing them.
And also...
Oh yeah, if they break down, I've got to be able to go around them. And if a fire engine comes up behind me, I've got room to move to the left or to the right.
That's it. Brilliant. So we were talking earlier about driving in the distance we could see to be clear. The reason why it's important to give a safe gap, which you're not doing right now. So what I want you to do is I want you to take your foot off the gas.
Oh, okay.
Take your foot off the gas and increase the gap. And before you get to that green sign, I want you to say only a fool can break the 2-second rule.
Only a foot breaks 2-second rule. Oh, sorry,
okay,
yeah.
and that is the
close,
safe gap.
Oh,
Yep.
right.
And why is that important?
Because if he stops, I've got to be able to stop him.
Yep. And how much gap are you going to give to go ahead now if you do decide to stop, which you're not going to, so you're all right. What would you anticipate this car ahead could do?
I can't see him. Oh, I can see him now.
Yep.
He's not looking at me, so oh, he's looking at me now.
Yep. And if he wasn't and he decided to pull out, what's the first thing you would do?
Check my mirrors and slow down.
Yep.
I don't overreact, I do it.
That's it. So you want to take your foot off the gas. You're not going to put your brake on, but you're going to be ready to stop if you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. So Tony, I think you're doing really well.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm feeling very confident about this test.
That's it, and so you should be.
I feel the old
So remind me again, how much clearance are we going to give this parked car?
a meter.
And how are you judging that?
I'm using that reference point that I got from my normal driving position. I'm using the outer edge of these cars. That tells me I'm a meter away, and I'm looking underneath the cars. Looking for doors opening and pedestrians walking out, cars moving away.
And that seems to be really working for you, so I'm going to let you get on with that, but I might do your head in and ask you a couple of times just for the sake of it.
That's all right, I'm used to having my head done in. You met my wife.
That's it. I have, that's why I'm saying it. So Tony, tell me how much gap you're going to give these parked cars.
Gap.
How much? The word I'm looking for.
How far I'm going to stop
How
behind?
far are you going to stop
tires
behind
and
this car?
tarmac.
Yep. So this is a perfect stopping place. So you can see the tyres and the tarmac.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously a lot taller than I am. And what are the reasons for that? Why would you be giving
If
this
they
much
break
gap?
down, I've got room to go around them.
That's it.
And
if there was a bus ahead of us, how much gap would you give them?
I'll try and see the mirrors. If I can see the mirrors, they can see me, can I?
And that's it.
And we're going to turn right.
And I'd like you to turn right. So what mirrors are you going to be checking first, Tony? So check them. There you go. Check your middle mirror. Okay, how do you know when it's safe to go?
All right. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. You just
Yeah, I must enforce them in slow stop or swerve.
Yep. And where you parked right now?
Where am I parked?
Do you know the correct? What's the word I'm looking for?
I'm in the right. I'm in the box, am I?
You're in the box, but
Yeah.
you're not like in the middle of that. You're going to be crossing the path right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's just giving you a... Okay. Tony, I would like you to stop doing my head in, but what we just did there is potentially crossing the path, aren't we? I mean, what we're doing is what are we doing? You didn't park like the middle of that line.
That's one-way street.
Was it? I knew that. See, and I'm so glad you said that, because that just means that you were actually on the money and you knew exactly what you were talking about, which is fantastic. Great stuff. Okay.
Well, if you Just store that in your memory bank for a second while I chat.
Do you know what funny thing? You should say that because I actually remember seeing that in one of your videos where I think Andy did that.
No,
or someone did.
If you just store it in your memory bank for a minute.
Yeah. Okay.
And we'll talk about it when we stop in a second.
So if that car hadn't given you away, how would you have known if it was safe to go or not?
I must enforce them to stop slow or swerve.
Okay. And what else would you look out for?
There could be people, bicycles coming down the inside, couldn't it?
That's it.
And then I need to look at, Bob said I always need to look into the road I'm turning into.
Yep. And what are you looking for when you're looking into that road?
Well, there could be a vehicle broken down on the corner, or there could be a pedestrian crossing the road.
Mhm. So new road, what mirrors do you check? Does this all become a history lesson?
History.
Yeah, you've kind of done it now. Do I still get to talk about it, or do I?
Oh, new road, I always check new mirrors,
Okay.
middle and right.
Okay. And what are you checking for when you're checking in the middle mirror?
Oh, distance, speed, and anybody overtaking me.
Okay. So if this was just one lane and there wasn't traffic lights, where would you position yourself on a one-way street? Is that relevant or is that just pointless?
Well, we're going straight on the left, I'd stay in the left-hand lane. I was going right to be in that lane, wasn't it?
Okay.
And we're going to turn left.
And I'd like you to turn left.
I didn't change quick, didn't I?
Yep. If you're on camera, I won't tell you what I do yet.
And then that guy was going to stop behind me there for me.
Because they obviously didn't think you were going to stop me. This area is so alienated, I don't think I've ever been here.
Is it Albans?
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean by they will cross anywhere because here's the pedestrian crossing, but they
Yeah.
always cross on the other side of
Yeah.
it.
We're all the same though, aren't we?
Yeah. You're probably one of those people who pressed a button and just decided to cross from the other side.
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
always
sake
do
of
that,
it.
yeah.
God, they're long traffic lights, aren't they?
Hmm.
Oh, there's always one bliss who actually comes close to it and decides to press it.
Yeah, those lights, the driver on those lights is wrong today. I'm going to turn right.
And I'd like you to turn right, Tony. So when are you going to judge whether it's safe to go or not, Tony?
Oh, there's no cars coming, but if there is, I must enforce them to stop slow or swerving.
New road, what mirrors are you checking?
I'll be right.
What are you checking for when you're checking your middle mirror?
Not this is speed.
And right?
Anybody overtaking me?
And if there was?
I'd let them go.
Brilliant.
Turn right and then immediately left.
Okay, I'd like you to turn right and then immediately left. was in a bit of a pickle there.
No, she got us into the
Yeah.
entry.
But technically, we've got the parked cars on our side of the road, haven't
Yeah,
we?
but she emerged out of there, didn't she?
Yeah.
I think she knew it when she emerged out of there that I was going to have to find a little gap to drop into, didn't she?
Yeah. So Tony, you can see a cyclist ahead of you. How much clearance are you going to get?
Oh yeah, I can spot the cyclist, yeah.
So what do you anticipate is going to happen?
Now we're going to turn left.
What's the first thing you're going to do when you see a cyclist ahead?
I'll check my mirrors, I'll wait till I get round the corner for a second.
So Tony, you can see the cyclist ahead. What's the first thing you're going to do?
Well, the examiner told me that there's a cyclist coming up ahead, I do have to spot him myself.
Sorry?
Will the examiner say,
Nope.
Tony, you've got a cyclist coming up ahead, or will I have to spot them myself?
Okay, what we'll do is next time you can tell me if you can spot
Oh yeah, I can always
a
spot them, yeah.
hazard. And what's
Yeah.
the first thing you do when you see one?
I'll check the mirrors,
Yeah.
give them plenty of room.
How much room?
A couple of metres or even more.
And what if you couldn't give that much?
I'll
What would you do?
I'll stay behind him and turning left.
And turn left, please.
Now at the end of the road, right.
Okay, I'd like you to turn right at the end of the road, please.
And we're going to park up on the left here. We're going to park up on the parking bay in front of the shop.
Okay, and we're just going to park up on the left here.
And you can buy me some sweets.
That's... You deserve to buy me some sweets for all of this hard work. And we're just going to park here because we feel like it.
So we're going to pass this testing.
Definitely. You are definitely a lot. You're beginning to recognise safe gaps, and you're also
Safe gaps.
recognising. It's just I just said that, so I felt I had to carry on with that. What I meant to say was you're recognising the gap you should be leaving a parked car ahead of you. If
Oh,
you're
yeah,
stopped in
yeah,
traffic and
yeah.
stuff, that was really important, and you actually got the hang of
Yeah.
it. Clearance, you giving the correct clearance for parked cars. Do you now understand why, if there were cars on both sides, why you'd have to reduce your speed?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Which is very important.
I won't ask the wife anymore though because
Because it got you in trouble last time.
well, my cooking's not the best in the world. And,
That's it. And
okay, you can
also,
give it a rest there.
No.
Well done. That was excellent. Yeah, there was very little room for me to make any mistakes there. I couldn't shave because you were coming in with the right questions all the time. And you got in there nice and early, so I had no reason to shave. And you asked me the why. You know, why was it important? And how I was judging it. So it would have been unfair for me to play it any differently there. Yeah, obviously for some reason on the way in it was very, very quiet. I didn't get a chance to stop behind the car.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any cars in front of me to play with. And you were very quick with the okay, I caught you napping a bit with the one that was coming up behind the tyres and tarmac. But you learned from that quite quickly. You reacted to it quite quickly. You were very quick when I was coming down London Road, and we just started to talk about the 2-second gap, which is something that you want to introduce.
Yeah.
Don't be waiting for me to introduce.
I think it's just a case of trying to remember what the adequate clearance covers really. And I think I said this to you last time as well, which is I forget what bits it covers, and I forget the 2-second rule and everything else.
Yeah,
like
it's
part of
it's
it. Yeah.
to the sides, ahead, and to a certain extent behind. Because if I had a vehicle very close behind me, then I'd need a bit more than a 2-second
Yeah.
rule, wouldn't I? Yeah, you know where I was turning right, and
And I didn't realise it
I
was
said to you, save it in your memory bank for a minute. I think you were probably on about a corner cut, were you?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I wouldn't have put a corner cut in, would I, on that subject?
Well, crossing the path you could have, couldn't you?
No. On approach to the right-hand turn, I could actually stick mirror faults in because I do have a vehicle across.
Okay.
If there's no vehicle for me to cross the path of, then I would follow my mirror signal routine as normal. But if there is a vehicle there for me to cross the path of, and you just about got in there in time, yeah, and said, "Am I going to go, or how am I going to judge it?" I wouldn't have gone in front of it, but I would have gone to, "Oh, I can go here, couldn't I?"
Yeah.
And then you would have had to react. So you did get in there quite
So,
quickly.
so now I'm getting it. So if we were doing right and left turns, you'd have probably done a corner cut in the right turn. But in the crossing the path, you'd probably stick to when it's safe to go, sort of crossing the path.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
But if there is a car coming towards me, and I do have to cross the path of that car, it is part of the routine that I could not check the mirrors, and I could get the signal wrong.
Okay, and is this where you might actually turn the wheels, and where I took, is that, or does that fall under the right?
Yeah, again, I could, if I was really testing you, and I'm thinking, you're looking at a 5.9 here, maybe a 6. Yeah, I could test you by just before coming to a stop, putting a couple of turns on, and I'd expect you to come back at me and say, "You shouldn't do that. Why?"
Because if someone was to hit you from the back, your car would be forced into
Exactly.
that. And
yeah.
if someone was coming too close, obviously your wheels would be
Yeah,
sticking out.
I've already kind of emerged over the left centre line, haven't I? That was really good. Really good.
Okay.
I really enjoyed that. Yeah, and don't be frightened to just treat me like a human being when there's nothing happening. Just chat about. I encourage you to chat there about your driving instructor, being a driving instructor. Obviously, you don't ask me. Well, you wouldn't be asking me, but you wouldn't ask the.
How does it feel being an examiner? You
yeah. But I mean, they have given you a word picture. You can use that word picture to make conversation with
I
it.
guess with someone who's training, I'd probably think, if I'm not talking about something and I'm talking about something willy-nilly, are they thinking I'm wasting the lesson away? Are they thinking what they're paying for if I'm not sticking to the actual subject, even if there's not a scenario?
Well, it's about
maybe if I was in a real lesson, I probably would. But because I've got an examiner, I'm thinking, obviously, are they going to be thinking if they were playing the role of a pupil?
Well, no, because don't forget, the word picture told you I've got a test coming up.
Yeah, I guess.
In a little over 2 weeks' time, 2.5 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time.
Yeah.
There is going to be silences, isn't there?
Yeah. Especially if the roads are like that.
Yeah. Just same way you would do a real pupil. Talk about life in general.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to talk about today was the weather.
It was actually nice when I took my part too, and the lady, when she started talking to me, eventually